Alright folks, Station Captain here one last time tonight. It's Sunday evening here in Glendale. We're talking about specific hazards, about supplies, and about being aware. Now I want to touch on something incredibly powerful, simple skills. As first responders we train constantly, but the reality is, in any emergency, a house fire, a car crash, a medical event, there's almost always a gap, sometimes just minutes, sometimes longer, between when the event happens and when professional help arrives. And what happens in those first few minutes can make a world of difference. That's where you come in. That's where the basic skills turn a bystander into an immediate asset. Let me share another true story, one that perfectly illustrates this. We were rolling up on a house fire scene a while back. Nothing huge, mostly contained to the kitchen, but definitely smoke showing. As we pulled up, we see a couple of people out front, one clearly coughing and looking distressed from breathing in smoke. But next to them is a neighbor, someone who wasn't directly involved but saw the commotion and came over. This neighbor had taken a basic first aid course. They weren't doing anything heroic in a movie sense. They had simply recognized the signs of smoke inhalation, helped a person away from the smoky air, encouraged them to sit down, keep them calm, and made sure they were breathing okay while waiting for us. When we arrived, that neighbor gave us a quick, calm report. Because of their simple actions, the person was calmer, already getting fresh air, and we could focus immediately on the fire and other potential victims. Did that neighbor save the person's life? Maybe not directly in that instance, but they absolutely eased their suffering, prevented potential worsening of their condition, and provided crucial support in a chaotic moment. They were an asset, not just someone watching. They made a tangible difference because they knew a simple skill and weren't afraid to use it appropriately. Think about the situations we face here in Glendale. A car accident on Bell Road. Knowing basic bleeding control, just applying direct pressure before paramedics get through traffic can literally be life-saving. Someone collapses at a summer event. Recognizing heat stroke and starting cooling measures immediately changes outcomes. A grease fire starts on the stove. Knowing how to use a fire extinguisher correctly. Remember pass, pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. And just as importantly, knowing when the fire is too big and it's time to just get out prevents a small incident becoming a tragedy. Knowing where and how to shut off your gas meter if you smell gas after an incident, or the water main if a pipe bursts. These simple actions prevent explosions and massive property damage. These aren't skills requiring years of medical school or firefighter academy training. These are basic, learnable skills. So ask yourself this. Think, what simple skill, basic first aid, fire extinguisher use, could make you an asset instead of a bystander in an emergency? What knowledge could help you step up confidently and competently in those critical first moments? And this just isn't about everyday emergencies here. These skills become even more vital during large-scale disasters, the kind triggered by major weather events across the country, when professional responders are stretched incredibly thin and neighbors often have only each other for immediate help. Imagine a hurricane has just torn through a coastal community in Florida or Louisiana. Power is out, roads are blocked by debris and water, 911 is overwhelmed. Injuries are everywhere, cuts from broken glass and debris, falls in the dark, burns from generators used improperly. People who know basic first aid become invaluable. Cleaning and bandaging wounds, splinting injuries, recognizing infections. Knowing safe generator operation prevents deadly carbon monoxide poisoning. Picture the aftermath of a devastating tornado in Oklahoma or Kansas. Homes are destroyed, people are injured, some are trapped. Emergency services can't be everywhere at once. Citizens trained in basic first aid, light search and rescue, like through a CERT program, Community Emergency Response Team, and knowing how to safely shut off utilities to damaged homes become crucial first responders, potentially saving lives before help can even navigate the wreckage. Think about a major earthquake on the West Coast. Widespread injuries, fires breaking out from ruptured gas lines, collapsed structures. Basic first aid, knowing how to use a fire extinguisher on a small, incipient fire and when to leave it alone. Knowing those utility shutoffs. These skills are absolutely critical for community survival in the immediate aftermath. Consider a paralyzing blizzard or ice storm up north. The most important skill might simply be checking on elderly or vulnerable neighbors, recognizing the signs of hypothermia or frostbite, and knowing how to use alternative heat sources safely to avoid starting a fire or causing carbon monoxide poisoning. Basic first aid for slips and falls on the ice also comes into play. Even out west during wildfires, while firefighting is for the pros, knowing first aid for burns or smoke inhalation during an evacuation, or being aware enough to leave before the evacuation order becomes mandatory, called situational awareness, makes a big difference. See the pattern? Whether the ground is shaking, the wind is howling, the water is rising, or the snow is piling up, when a disaster strikes, people with basic skills become immediate responders. They bridge the gap. They reduce suffering. They save lives. They build community resilience from the ground up. This isn't about playing hero. It's about having the competence and confidence to act effectively when seconds count. It's about shifting your mindset from what do I do in panic to okay, I know how to handle this part with focus. It's about responsibility to yourself, your family, and your community. And these skills are accessible. The Red Cross, local hospitals, even our own fire department often offer classes in CPR, basic first aid, and fire extinguisher use. CERT programs provide fantastic, more in-depth training for community disaster response. Look them up. Let's circle back to that neighbor at the fire scene. Their simple action had a real impact. You can too. Don't just prepare with water and batteries, prepare with knowledge. Choose one skill to learn or refresh this month. Find that first aid class schedule online. Go locate your home's gas and water shutoffs this weekend and label them. Watch a video on the PASS method for fire extinguishers. You have the potential to be an incredible asset in an emergency. Empower yourself with simple skills. You'll be better prepared to help yourself, your family, and your neighbors when it matters most. And as always, stay safe out there.